The 3-day-long Vedic rituals begin ahead of the grand Bhumi Pujan in Ayodhya. The auspicious ceremony to construct the temple kicks off with the worship of Gauri and Ganesh. Holy soil and water reach Ayodhya from across the country. The Drug Controller General of India gives approval to Serum Institute of India, Pune to conduct clinical trials of the Oxford University AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine Covishield in India. The recovery rate in COVID-19 cases in India reaches a new high of 65.77%, over 40,500 patients discharged in the last 24 hours. The case fatality rate continues its downward slide to 2.11%. The total sample test crosses 2 crore mark. The flood situation in Bihar remains critical. Nearly 54 lakh people in 14 districts affected by the floods. 31 teams of the NDRF and the SDRF engaged in relief and rescue operations. About 4 lakh people evacuated from the flood-affected areas. The situation improves in Assam. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet the nation on the occasion of Raksha Bandhan, the festival being celebrated across the country following social distancing and other methods of prevention from COVID-19. Special worship in the temples on the auspicious last Monday of Sawan. Sanskrit Divas also being celebrated. Union Ministers Rajnath Singh and Prakash Javadekar extend their well wishes. Hello and welcome. You're watching Doordarshan News with me, Nancy Kohli. Our top story: the countdown for the Bhumi Pujan of the Grand Ram Temple to be held on the 5th of August and to be done by Prime Minister Modi has commenced with the start of religious rituals this morning. Amid the COVID-19 threat and the security apprehension, the entire Ayodhya has turned into a fortress. A total of 21 priests from Varanasi, Ayodhya and Prayagraj started the ritual of the Bhumi Pujan by organizing Gauri Ganesh Puja today morning at the Bhumi Pujan site in the Ram Janmabhoomi premises. And for more updates, let's now go across to our correspondent Shubhendu Ghosh, who is joining us with more inputs on that. Shubhendu, what more details can you share with us as far as the Vedic rituals that have begun ahead of the Bhumi Pujan? Shubhendu, are you with us? All right, I believe we'll try and reconnect with the correspondent Shubhendu Ghosh. Shubhendu, if you are with us, I was asking you if you could share more details about the Vedic rituals that have begun ahead of the Bhumi Pujan. There are more details. All right, we'll try and reconnect with the correspondent Shubhendu Ghosh in just a bit. But like we were telling you, the countdown for the Bhumi Pujan of the Grand Ram Temple to be held on the 5th of August has commenced with the start of the religious rituals this morning. Shubhendu, more details there as far as the religious rituals that have commenced are concerned.
Absolutely, Nancy. First, greetings to you and all our viewers from Ram Ki Pauri in Ayodhya. This is an extension of the ghat next to the holy river Saryu, which we know plays an important part in the epic of Ramayana and continues to be the central of cultural and belief system of the faithful. Nancy, now the focus, since morning we've been talking about how the focus is the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, really the Bhumi Pujan of the temple. But we'd also like to talk about the key people who will be playing a role to vision of a Ram temple in that comes right on Mishra, diploma, to engineers who are going to give
All right, we'll try and reconnect with you, Shubhendu.
Because
Yes, there seems to be a bit of a problem there with both of your audio there. Arun and Shubhendu will try and reconnect with you. I'll come back to you, Shubhendu, as soon as we work on that audio that's dipping.
We'll connect with you again, Nancy, if there's an audio problem.
Yes, the audio is dipping, Shubhendu.
Can you hear us now, Nancy? Is it better?
Yeah, okay. Okay, Shubhendu, we can hear you now clearly. Yes, please go ahead. Yes, Shubhendu, please go ahead.
Right, Nancy, I hope you can hear me now.
Yes,
I hope the audio is clear.
Shubhendu, we can.
So the point that I was mentioning, okay, great. So the point we were mentioning was, Arun and I, were the people who are going to play a key role in realizing the vision of Ram Mandir. Of course, the highlight is going to be Prime Minister Narendra Modi participating in the Bhumi Pujan. Nripendra Mishra's name comes right on top. He's been a senior bureaucrat. He's been Principal Secretary to Prime Minister as well. And now a big responsibility on his shoulder. He's the one who's going to coordinate the efforts of all the expert engineers who are going to give the final shape to Ayodhya's Ram Mandir. My colleague Arun will tell us more on that. Arun.
That's right. So construction is an important part that, everybody is waiting for, that how the construction activity will pan out. We know this fact that it will take almost 3 years of time for this Ram Mandir to get over. But yes, you understand that this fact that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be worshipping 7 shilps on this day of 5th of August. And out of these 7 shilps, 3 are brought from outside. That means people from outside the country have, come ahead and given this kind of shilp. So, and it is also, water is also being, brought from various parts of our country. It is also said that Gange cha Yamuna cheva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jales Mina Karinem Guru. So the point is that the water body that is being coming here, which is being brought here, so construction is playing an important role. And Nripendra Mishra, who is also the chairman of this construction committee, he plays an important role as far as the construction site is concerned. Not only Nripendra Mishra, there are many other players like Champat Rai ji, for that matter. He also plays an important role as far as this construction site is concerned.
Absolutely. If you talk about more people who are going to play a key role, Nancy, another person who comes to my mind immediately is going to be the architect of this absolutely magnificent temple when it takes shape. Chandrakant Sompura, he comes from a very family with a rich legacy and participation in temple construction. The Sompuras, his grandfather was renowned to have given the final shape of the new Somnath temple when he did that, and now the grandson is going to give a shape to the Ram temple. So again, a crucial aspect of it would be how the architect, and we know that it's become more magnificent, more ideas, more floors have been added to the final design.
That's right. According to Vastu, this temple is unique in its way. There will be 5 domes. That's what we are learning as of now, the 5 domes. And nowhere in the world, the Ram temple is such magnificent and such a huge in size when we talk about the Ram temple with 5 domes and kind of 161 feet long in size. And actually Vastu compliant also. So there are many features that's been, brought into this Ram temple when it will be completed, the construction will be completed. So all these players, all these stakeholders have played an important role. And
Nancy, please yes, Shubhendu, now, the countdown for the Bhumi Pujan of the Grand Temple it has already begun. It's going to be taking place day after tomorrow. And, like, of course, we have been sharing with the viewers how it has commenced with the start of the religious rituals there. If you could share with us the prominent personalities who could be participating in that day after tomorrow.
For now, we can tell you that as far as religious functions are concerned, Nancy, small temples, big temples of all size, they've all started with Vedic chanting, this almost creating a run-up to the special day of the Bhumi Pujan of the Ram temple. So that aspect has started, and what is good is that it's not limited to one temple, but across Ayodhya we could see pujaris, the Sant Mahatmas, everyone engaged in the practice in their own scale. So that was a sight to behold in particular, Arun, isn't it?
That's right. So in Ayodhya, people say that Ram se bada Ram ka naam. That means the significance of the name Ram in itself is more important than the Ram himself. So the point is that Ram se bada Ram ka naam, that's being chanted over here, it's being echoing over here, Jai Shri Ram and Ram se bada Ram ka naam. So these are some of the big highlights. An important part is that 20,000 small and big temples in Ayodhya itself have been colored over here. Laddus are being prepared not only for the people of Ayodhya, but yes, for the people of other parts of the country as well. So it's not a national event, Nancy. Let me tell you, this is a global event. People from North America will be getting connected virtually with this event on 5th of August. In USA's Times Square, in New York, Times Square primarily, Lord Ram's images will be displayed on the big holdings. Minister. Ram has culturally connected, India and the world, be it the Southeast Asian countries. We know that Cambodia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, for that matter. There's a cultural connect, and Ram primarily unites everybody in that sense.
And the theme of Sabke Ram, as if the Ram belongs to everyone. And Nancy, to answer also your first question about the leaders who are coming, we know with Prime Minister, hosts of leaders are also descending here.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Shubhendu and Arun, thanks very much to both of you for joining us and sharing all those inputs. Thanks very much. And Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has said in an exclusive interview with Doordarshan News that Prime Minister Modi will set a new example for future generations by laying the foundation stone of the Ram Temple on the 5th. He added that 5th of August will be a date to pay tribute to those who sacrificed their lives for the cause.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी स्वयं प्रत्यक्ष रूप से इस अवसर पर आकर के लगभग 500 वर्षों के इस लंबे इंतजार को आज अपने कर कमलों से, अपनी उपस्थिति से वर्तमान पीढ़ी को न केवल गौरवान्वित कर रहे हैं, बल्कि आने वाली पीढ़ी के सामने एक बहुत बड़ी नजीर रखने जा रहे हैं। और इसके साथ ही उन सभी हुतात्माओं को, जिन्होंने राम जन्मभूमि के लिए एक लंबा संघर्ष किया था, अपना बलिदान दिया था, जिन लोगों ने संघर्ष किया, अपनी आंखों के सामने इस ऐतिहासिक क्षण को नहीं देख पा रहे हैं, उन सबको भी श्रद्धांजलि देने का एक अवसर 5 अगस्त 2020 की तिथि होगी।
And Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath also said that the Congress leadership never wished to resolve the issue and created hindrances in the process of the construction of the Ram Temple.
कांग्रेस नेतृत्व कभी भी समस्या का समाधान नहीं चाहता था। आपने देखा होगा कांग्रेस के नेतृत्व ने 1949 में श्री सोमनाथ मंदिर की समस्या के समाधान में भी रोड़ा अटकाया था। और यही नहीं, श्री राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर निर्माण से संबंधित विभिन्न गतिविधियों में भी समय समय पर रोड़ा अटकाया था। और अंतिम रोड़ा इनका वो भी था जब कांग्रेस के एक वरिष्ठ नेता ने सुप्रीम कोर्ट में अर्जी लगाई थी कि न्यायालय 2019 के पहले इस समस्या का समाधान न करे। ये भी कांग्रेस के ही एक नेता ने किया था।
And as a quick programming reminder, you can watch that entire interview of Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath this evening on Doordarshan News at 5 in the evening, that is. And the Ayodhya dispute litigant Iqbal Ansari has also been invited for the 5th of August Bhumi Pujan ceremony of the Lord Ram Temple in Ayodhya. Expressing gratitude over being invited, Iqbal said that the move will provide employment and also boost Ayodhya's development.
मंदिर के साथ साथ में अयोध्या की भी तकदीर बदलेगी, अयोध्या खूबसूरत बनेगी। हर आदमी चाहता है, हम भी चाहते हैं। खुशी इस बात की है कि हम प्रधानमंत्री जी आ रहे हैं अयोध्या। अयोध्या में रोजगार होगा, विकास होगा, मठ मंदिर बनेगा, खूबसूरती बढ़ाई जाएगी, विकास होगा, रोजगार मिलेगा।
Shifting focus now, the Drug Controller General of India has given nod to the Serum Institute of India for conducting Phase II and III human clinical trials of a COVID-19 vaccine candidate Covishield developed by the University of Oxford. The approval for conducting Phase II and III clinical trials was granted after a thorough evaluation based on the recommendations of the Subject Expert Committee on COVID-19. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry has also tweeted the Drugs Controller General of India has given approval to Serum Institute of India, Pune, to conduct Phase II and III clinical trials of the Oxford University AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine Covishield in India. And also an update now on the COVID-19 from across the country. According to the latest data released by the Health and the Family Welfare Ministry, the recovery rate across the country has further improved to 65.77%. A total of 11,86,203 people have recovered across the country so far. The fertility rate has also declined to 2.11%. Presently, the total number of active COVID-19 cases in the country is 5,79,357. Meanwhile, India's total sample test crosses 2 crore mark according to the latest cumulative data released by the ICMR. And on to our next big focus now. The flood situation in Bihar remains critical. At present, 1,069 panchayats of 103 blocks of 14 districts of the state are affected by the floods. Around 54 lakh people are affected by the floods in the state, and so far about 4 lakh people have been evacuated from the flood affected areas. 31 teams of the NDRF and the SDRF are engaged in relief and rescue operations. The additional secretary of the Disaster Management Department, Ramachandra, said that 27,000 people are staying in the relief centers, while the cooked food is being provided to a population of 9,40,000 through 1,385 community kitchens. The water level of Gandak, Budi Gandak and Bagmati rivers in Muzaffarpur district is above the danger mark. 210 panchayats of 13 blocks of the district are affected by the floods in the district. And in the Pilki Panchayat, the flood water has spread in 4 villages due to breach in the right embankment of the Tirhut Canal. About 200 villagers living in the low-lying areas have been evacuated to safer places. And the NDRF team is continuously engaged in relief work. In the Saraya block of the district, the left embankment of the river broke due to high water flow. The cut and protection work of the breached embankments is in progress. In the Darbhanga district, a safety embankment on the river of Adwara group was also breached in the Kevati block. Due to this, heavy water flow is now spreading into new areas. People are trying to repair the embankment. And after a long time, Jammu and Kashmir Samba is writing a new tale of development. To strengthen the grassroots development of Jammu and Kashmir, the government had conducted panchayat and civic elections. Local representatives are making all the efforts to fulfill the needs of the common people. They are trying their best to provide basic facilities like water, electricity and road. Here's more.
Development is no longer a dream for Jammu and Kashmir. After a long time, things have changed and Gram Sabha is inking the new era of development. And the local leaders are performing up to the expectations of the public. Villagers are no longer required to go here and there for their problems.
पंचायत जरूरी होना चाहिए, नुमाइंदे सरपंच होना चाहिए, पंचस होने चाहिए, इसे डेवलपमेंट होता है गाँवों में, कोचे बनते हैं, वो ड्रेनेज बनते हैं, पार्क्स बनते हैं, बहुत काम होता है.
While the grassroots democracy is establishing itself in Jammu and Kashmir, Gram Sabha is also setting new examples.
अब डायरेक्ट ये पैसा पंचायत में आता है और पंचायत खर्च इसमें अच्छी तरीके से पैसा खर्च करे.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, about 40,000 sarpanches are getting life insurance cover and police protection as per the instructions of Home Ministry.
क्योंकि हम बॉर्डर एरिया से तल्लक रखने वाले थे, हमें कहीं जाना था, खतरा था, हमारे परिवार को कुछ मिलने वाला नहीं था. इंश्योरेंस का ऐलान किया है, उससे हम बहुत खुश हैं.
After a very long time, Panchayati Raj in Jammu and Kashmir is fulfilling Gandhiji's dreams. The Gram Sabha is sketching the roadmap for development and the villagers are getting benefits of the schemes. Bureau Report, DD News.
Sanskrit Day is being celebrated today. The day is celebrated every year on the Shravani Purnima to mark the importance of Sanskrit language, the mother of all the Indian languages. The day this year is even more special as Sanskrit was given priority in the recently announced new national education policy. Here's a report.
Sanskrit is one of the most precious gifts given by India to the world. In its name itself, there is culture, sophistication and purity. 1500 BC, when the world was living in a barbaric era, we had touched the highest peak of knowledge in the form of Vedas. India had envisaged happiness and well-being of all and gave the universal philosophy of Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The grammar of Sanskrit was composed 1,000 years ago before the Christ, while English grammar started taking its initial form in 1600 AD, about 2,000 years after the Sanskrit grammar. Numerous historic mysteries such as zero, decimal, algebra, position of the constellations, the distance of the sun from earth were revealed by the Indian astrophysicists such as Varamihira, Aryabhat, Shripadi, Lal, Brahmagupta and Bhaskaracharya by the 10th century. It is still a great surprise for Western astronomers. In his first term in 2014, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had made his commitment clear to Sanskrit and the culture by pronouncing Vedic sentences.
भारत का मतलब वसुधैव कुटुंबकम. भारत का मतलब सर्वपंथ संभाव. भारत का मतलब सत्यमेव जयते।
In the last 6 years, the government has taken several decisions which instilled a new enthusiasm in the world of Sanskrit. Giving priority to Sanskrit and English languages in the recently announced new education policy is another such step taken by the government. Prime Minister has also clearly outlined this in his tweet. Education Minister Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has also said that Sanskrit will play an important role in the new national education policy. The steps taken to promote Sanskrit are historical. No doubt, the aura of Sanskrit will shine even more brilliantly in the days to come. Bureau Report, DD News.
Raksha Bandhan, the festival of special bond between brothers and sisters, is being celebrated today across the nation. On this occasion, sisters tie colorful rakhi around the wrist of their brothers and pray for their prosperity, health and well-being. In return, brothers pledge to protect and support their sisters and present them gifts. President Ramnath Kovind and Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu have greeted the nation on the occasion of Raksha Bandhan today. And on that note, it's a wrap on this edition of the news. Thanks for being with us.